pricking of my thumbs. Something wicked this way comes.
My husband.
King that shall be.
If we should fail.
We fail. Didst thou not hear noise?
Methought I heard a voice cry, sleep no more.
Are you a man?
Aye, and a bold one, that dare look upon that which might appall the devil.
I have no words. My voice is in my sword.
So it was a normal audition process. I remember hearing about it, and I wasn't in town at the time. I was actually overseas, and I flew back. They didn't know I was flying in for it, but I flew back and yeah, auditioned and met with Joel. It was a great sort of sit down, and it was more like a chat. It wasn't really an audition, you know, just talking about love of Shakespeare, talking about the characters. So yeah, it was sort of like a normal process until I found out that I got it, and then I like sort of, you know, freaked out. We had 3 weeks of, or maybe a little more, give or less, give or take, of rehearsal. It started out with just a lot of the people, the American actors, and then the British actors hadn't gotten in yet until later on in the process. So a lot of it was, I mean, my first day I was doing a costume fitting, and I just went over to say, hey, you know, to Denzel and Fran and Joel, and, you know, after exchanging pleasantries, next thing I know, we were up on our feet, you know, just kind of walking around the room saying, speaking the text, and that was fun. It was, we were already sort of off to the running, and you know, Denzel always said, you know, and I've always heard this growing up, is like, stay ready so you don't have to get ready. So, you know, we were in that room playing, and then everybody sort of came in and became a company. We were reading each other's lines and just vibing off of each other, and I think that made for, you know, by the time we got to the shooting process, it was butter. Joel's just a master. He's just a collaborative individual, but also extremely unassuming. He's very specific, and very detail oriented in terms of his vision. And you know, I think he honestly, I think he created a cinematic masterpiece. And it was sort of his vision from the very beginning, sort of stayed true to it all the way through, you know, now the film coming out. I think it's different, and also the same in many respects. It's different in that, you know, he's Joel sort of had his own, he sort of puts his own spin on it. You know, but also Shakespeare is sort of Cohen-esque before the Coens were the Coens, and, you know, they sort of speak the same language. And so to be able to watch him sort of put the pieces together was just extremely fascinating. His mind is so facile, and watching, you know, just watching him up close, I was just like watching an artist sort of paint with one of his favorite artists, Shakespeare. You know what I mean? It's like watching that conversation happen. It's just thrilling. So, it's different, but at the same time, it's like, he comes with the same energy and the same just level of respect that a lot of my favorite directors, have for Shakespeare. So it was just an incredible melding of minds and energy and art. Yeah. I mean, what can you say? It's like from the top down, we became a company. We became a company really quickly, and we were there to work. There was no, sort of ifs, ands, or buts about it. We just came in and hit the ground running. And the beautiful part about it is it's such a diverse cast, and not only in terms of just diversity in terms of like, black, white, it really spanned, the globe. It was a global cast. And so we all brought our own ways of speaking Shakespeare and working with Shakespeare, working with the text, and we learned from each other as well. So if I dropped the ball, someone was there to pick it up. If someone else dropped the ball, I had to be there to pick it up. And that was the fun of it, just keeping the balls in the air and just having a good time. I don't know if it changed. I don't know if it changed the way I worked. I definitely would say it enhanced a lot of it. Walking in to the Warner Brothers stages, the sound stages, everything was shot on a sound stage, which in and of itself is a feat and like incredible. But being able to watch, being able to like sit back and watch, like I went, it was like going to school every day, right? Like I would sit on set and just watch, Denzel and Fran in these huge, beautiful set pieces and these costumes come to life in a way that didn't necessarily happen in the rehearsal room. Like there's another level of there's the other part of the conversation that happens once you put those shoes on, once you walk into the room and you see. And it was just, it's just incredible. And yeah, it changed. I mean, it changes a lot. I mean, I'm on a horse inside of a soundstage riding down a long pathway and it changes, things. It makes, so it was just, all of those elements speak to each other in a way that I think is just stunning in this film.